it's very rare that the world changes as much as it has in the last 2.5 years, right? The world changed specifically with the pandemic, and everyone, changed the way that they worked, and the business and engagement with consumers has changed dramatically in that way. And now, with the recession impending, it seems like a lot of the largest tech firms are losing their grip on where, in fact, how they can best reach the consumer. So I'm seeing a real sense of reshuffling of where, in fact, dollars will be expended, mostly because I think digital has gotten so expensive that many of the brand marketers that I'm talking to and that Quad has the benefit of working with are starting to reposition how they think about where I should best spend my next dollar. And it isn't always digital is the best and most activated channel. It's how do I best communicate this message via digital, or is it direct, or is it in-store, or is it all the other ways that are becoming, frankly, much more cost competitive, as Quad as a marketing experience company has a long history in manufacturing and now in delivering all the different ways to reach the consumer, whether they're at home or in store or digitally. Quad is starting to see the shift for the marketer to go from a heavily digital focus to really kind of a full omni-channel marketing solution that, to be honest, is probably the best way to go to have the best impact to reach that consumer.
So no, you guys are going to start with some OTT media. What are your hopes there, and how do you create a campaign for OTT in kind of a niche B2B space?
Right. So Quad has a 51 and a half year history of always being in service to the marketer, and whether it's a large brand that wants to tell their story or a big B2B, either way, that's the story. And with the change in how to best reach that target, I'm finding it fascinating to think about all the different ways that my job as the CMO to help communicate that message. And I can't help but consider, why wouldn't we use an OTT solution to help really target who those people are, what they're watching, and what they're engaging with. And so I would say there is no medium that I'm not going to test to figure out how best and optimally know definitively which one is the best way for us to engage that audience. So I am excited to see about what we could do with an OTT targeted solution, but I'm curious whether or not we'll be able to see the lift as clearly as we can with other media that's a little bit more tangible.
Now, Josh, you have a little bit of a background in trade publishing.
I do. I was the president of Ad Age, yes.
Yes, and I wanted to ask you about the role of the B2B press in the industry and how that's changed, and maybe some thoughts that you have.
Yeah, that's interesting. It's becoming, it's an interesting question, Andy, because I'm watching so passionately involved in what was happening with the industry, and what I'm seeing is a bifurcation of what the trade press offers, and then all the other inputs that I'm getting. I actually get wonderful information from large brands because they have whole resources for delivering information, like B2B brands, about delivering information about marketing to me, because they're standing up whole journalism, best practices that communicate out what's going on. So I've been watching from McKinsey to EY to Salesforce to the trade desk. All of them have these wonderful resources for communicating really interesting insights that's narrow. So I would say there's a lot of challenge for the trade marketing associations, trade marketing publications in particular, to continue to be the strongest voice in the room, because there's a lot of, I read Wall Street Journal, CMO Today, I read the Reliable Sources newsletter, and there's a lot of different ways now to get that similar editorial storytelling, which I frankly was responsible for at Ad Age.